Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? It's nice to see some old faces and new faces as well. Well, this night is long overdue. As most of you know, Mark retired in June of 2020 when COVID hit. We were shut down for several weeks, and I became superintendent that July. So both of us were in unknown charted territory there. And it was right before we shut down the schools, right before Cultural Arts Night, where this night was supposed to happen then. So here we are several years later, dedicating the Learning Commons to Mark Halloran. It was his brainchild. I have always known Mark as a friend and a mentor. I got to work with him for 7 years prior to becoming superintendent. And he has always said, put the kids first. So I try to do that in my tenure as superintendent, and I appreciate everything you've done as well. Tonight we're doing something pretty cool in naming this Learning Commons after Mark. It's more than a place to study. It's not the old school library. It's truly the Learning Commons where folks and kids can collaborate and work in teams, and then add the technology in there as well as for the creative piece. We thank you for everything that you've done for SAU 48. You really made a difference with all of us, including the children. We certainly miss having you around, but we want to thank you for leaving us the solid foundation that you left for all of us here. I would like to introduce Mary Boyle, who is our high school art educator, and she's going to speak to the dedication.
I'm more of a roll it back. First, thank you so much for having me and asking me to speak. Like you said, this has been long overdue celebration of our former superintendent, Mark Halloran. I'm so pleased to be here, not only to show my gratitude, appreciation, and admiration for Mr. Halloran, but to be able to share with you all here tonight the process that was put into this incredible tribute mural that you see up in the Learning Commons. It was created by many talented student artists and community collaborators. A handful of them are here tonight that actually worked with the artists. So we'll talk a little bit about the process because I'm still a teacher. Each year, our art department always looks for a real world project that we can take to the students. It's a commission, if you will. And the year 2019-2020, our creative brief, other than COVID, was to create a mural that pays tribute to our retiring superintendent, Mark Halloran. Our location was the Learning Commons. Our audience was the PRHS students, faculty, and staff. We invited the panel to come into our class to talk about Mr. Halloran and his role as superintendent. Also, not a lot of high schoolers knew what a superintendent did, so it was very educational. So I felt like that was exciting. But we talked about his commitment and legacy within our district. Discussion points were of his character, personal impacts he has had on our schools through academics, co-curriculars, athletics, and the arts, and any other personal stories that came to mind, which you'll see a few in a second. Students listened and took notes from the discussion and later pulled out visual content that you'll see up here to be dedicated and on display for our school to honor Mr. Halloran and his incredible impact he has had on our community and SAU 48. What you see before you is the completed mural, a collaboration completed by 24 art students recognized on the poster as you walked in. You can also see some of their, lovely, friendly faces. All of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, it was in 2019, 2020. So it was really actually fun to dig out all those photographs. Also, I have to say too, Mrs. Sanborn, Lynn Sanborn is not here tonight, but she had a huge impact on this and was part of this whole collaboration as well. Everything you see above, all the choices that were made based on you, Mr. Halloran. When we, the audience, look up at the mural, we're looking at a stage. The stage, those are your hands, Mr. Halloran. So these are legit your hands. And Mary Halloran, where's Mary? So Mary, I love to to talk about this, but we had a big discussion about what it takes to do what you want in life. And Mr. Halloran couldn't have done this without you and your family. So we talked about when, they're crushing that ring and doing a great job, painting metal, which can be kind of challenging. We just talked about that, and we can all give Mary a round of applause too and thank. So we're all at the hands. Are we all with me? I did recruit a laser pointer today. Very exciting. So as we see, Mr. Halloran's hands are opening up and laying down this beautiful scene that you see before you. So the stage is a metaphor for our district. We haven't gotten that. That is what this metaphor is for. You'll see the beautiful white mountains before you on the backdrop of the stage. You're going to see academics through, we tried to make sure everyone was included, of course. We have science, we have math, we have culinary, we have theater, we have the co-curricular activities throughout here. Everything is really representing all the beautiful pathways that you have helped nurture in our district. And it's because of all of these opportunities the kids have that they're able to take off and leap off and do crazy, amazing things beyond the walls of PRHS. So thank you so much for all of the foundation that you have set. That is what this is representing. All of our school culture, educational achievements, the vision that you saw, the beliefs you had, the work you put in, and the people you believed in has created wonderful growths like you see up here. Taking a look at the foundation, you will also see a little memorial here, Thomas Jefferson Memorial. You can thank your good friend, you can thank your good friend, Mr. Parsons. We talked about doing a tribute to DC, and we know obviously that you taught presidency with Mr. Parsons, and he had a little inside joke. And of course, we love inside jokes, so we decided to put it on there permanently. So
you strict?
So Mr. Halloran,
We haven't thought there, but it looks good.
yeah, so he's not a fan of that memorial, but now it's here forever. So that was fun. We all got a really big chuckle off of that. Of course, the center of the mural are the books and the loose papers that represent all of our sending schools that make up SAU 48. While this mural was created to be hung at PRHS, it was always a priority to recognize the K-12 educational experience that our district is built on. A true SAU 48 collaboration. Throughout the mural, you will see K-8 artwork added to various shapes within the composition. Showing a range of K-12 student artwork was important to us because we knew it would be important to you as well. After all, the future is our youth. Just like a little sneak peek. So the football was Plymouth Elementary School. You have Ashland. Kiddos did this one. Wentworth, Thornton over here. And then we had some with a beaker. So there's little hidden collaborations from young and budding artists, which is exciting to see. One of my favorite things on the mural is the aspects created by former student Catherine Yee. She had the chosen composition that all of our students collaborated on. And one, I think, of the main creative choices she did was incorporating these 5... I should never have been a surgeon. Do you see this? Okay. It's so bad. So there's 5 little portraits up here. There's one here, one over here, one here, and one here. There's 5 of them. And what I love about them, and obviously art is always open for interpretation, but they're all kind of exploring this foundation of education in our district differently. Those of us who are in education or around education, we know everyone walks through the doors differently and they interact with everything that's on their plate differently. So you'll have some students easy breezy swinging away, some students exploring, some students pushing through, some students staring off and daydreaming, which can happen more frequently lately. But I love that. The one thing that they all have in common is that we're all in it together, and they're all important. So I love looking at those 5 students up in that mural. You set the stage with a strong foundation, and our future is our youth. Mr. Halloran, once it's a little interesting just because, you've been retired for us. But the whole point of that is what happens when we have questions, what happens when we look to your leadership. And what I love about this mural, if we do get lost or we are met with new challenges, once you've left, what then? Now, assuming I can't or we can't just call you or in the same, some cases, write you on Post-it notes. I did my first year, wrote an 5 Post-it notes long message of how I lost something and I felt horrible. And your secretary was so lovely. She was like, do you need another? I was like, I do need another. I was like terrified. But we can go back to things like this mural to you because good art makes us feel, it connects us. We get to come into this beautiful learning commons that is dedicated to you. We'll look up at this mural and we will see your hands, your mark. Thank you. And the wonderfully strong foundation you have left us with through your leadership and dedication. We'll look at the paintbrush and piano keys that expand. Oh, one last moment. And as they expand, we'll hear your voice, Mr. Halloran, and we will all hear you say, do what's right for the kids. No truer words have ever been spoken in education. Thank you for your dedication over the past 30 years. May we remember the importance of those words for the next generations as we look at and appreciate this tribute mural titled Foundation and Future in Your Honor. There's another little situation surprise for you because I know you've kind of already seen this. And you guys are all welcome to take a little bit of Mr. Halloran with us. They're bookmarks because people reading, learning commons, right? Okay, full circle. But we also have a surprise for you. So, obviously, as I was painting it, I couldn't help but think, I better not screw this up. He hired me. It better look just like him. And I have to say, it was one of the easiest paintings. Sometimes I get emotional. It was one of the easiest paintings. And that's based off of who you are as a leader. You were always so approachable. You're awesome. As I tell my students, it's always an honor to paint any portrait, to capture their likeness. And I want you to know, when you look at this painting, this is how I see you as a teacher. This is how we see you from our perspective. And I hope you like it. But it was an honor. And congratulations and thank you so much.
A nice gift for you. Some gift cards to be used for your trips to D.C. To the Jefferson Memorial. But you see, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, and the kid, your grandchildren. But on behalf of the entire SAU teachers and educators, I want to present you this. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
Well, sort of overwhelming. Usually I have plenty to say, but let me start with a story about Mary Boyle.
It's just like that.
And some of you know the story, and I do it in the context of I rarely threw my weight around as superintendent, but this winter morning I did. They said hiring an art teacher, it is hiring. I always viewed it as an art program because everyone looked at the high school, and we had Peggy Houseworth had just left, and she was absolutely terrific, and we needed to replace that position. And so Lynn Sanborn had come back. She had left us, went to Co Brown, and came back, and then said, "Well, we have a committee, and we'd like you to sit in on the 3 interviews because we know how important this position is to you." I said, "Well, I'm happy to do it." And so it was scheduled, and it was one of those 9, 10, 11 sort of things because Bruce and I couldn't miss lunch. So we were going to get it all taken care of. And so in walks this young woman from Wisconsin, and she just blew us away. Just blew us away. And so she's 20 minutes into her presentation, and I said, "Oh, I got some time this morning." So anyway, she's all done. Everyone just sort of says goodbye. Off she goes. And I said, "Well, listen, I'm really all set. That this is. I may have said something like, 'This is my girl,' or this is who we're going to hire," something like that. And some of the committee members got a little rattled. "Well, you can't do that. You've got to sit through. These other interviews." And I said, "Listen, have these folks come, and because every search we do, we may hire number 2 and 3 down the road. It's a good opportunity to see folks. So, put them through it. But I'm really all set. And then Bruce can tell me, how the other 2 were." So, and then finally someone said, "Well, it wasn't Bruce." He said, "You really can't do that." I said, "First of all, I'm the superintendent." It may have been something in front of that, but so I think I can do anything I want. So that was Mary Donovan.
Meet you, by the way.
Mary Donovan, Mary Boyle. That was her introduction to Plymouth. She never knew that, but it was a pretty easy hire. So Mary, thank you so much. Thank you. And not only for tonight, but just the program you brought. I mean, it's just incredible. And to Will Gutt, who is sitting right next. I mean, what Will Gutt has done, not only for SAU 48 Plymouth Regional High School, but Pemmy Choral Society, and the way he represents us around the state, just, we really look like geniuses. And so, did good. Yeah. One of the things that as I traveled around the state in this role was, how do you guys have it so good in SAU 48? You guys seem to really do well, and there's no commotion. You're never in the newspapers. And I said, it's pretty easy. You hire great people, and I stay out of the way. And that's historically what we've done. And it continues. I was thrilled when the board said they were going to accept my nomination of Kyla Welch. I mean, it was the continuity, it was the competence, the confidence that people in this region have in this school district. And it hasn't disappeared, and it will continue on. And that's what makes us so strong, is just how we did business. I'm looking over at Chuck, Chris Sanborn, following a legend, and just seamless. And so as we build on that, I think it makes us just a great system. I do want to say thank you to Mary, my wife. It was funny. I'm out every night of the week, and then all of a sudden I reappear in her life after 30 years. I think it was about 2 weeks into it when she asked me if I had something to do, and I said, I'm trying to adjust. But just I know the time away and the sacrifices she made, and thank you. I appreciate that more than you'll ever know. To all of you, I could go right around the room. Just absolutely terrific people, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. I miss all of you. People say, what do you miss any of it? And I miss the people, the interactions on a daily basis. But I do like having my day end about 4:30. but it's just you miss the people more than you miss anything else. The other thing about tonight that I think it's more meaningful to do this tonight than it would have been on a night in March or July, because my perspective has changed so much. I look back at, all the things all of us did together, and it's a deeper perspective, and much more appreciation than I would have had 5 years ago, to be honest with you. I just think, my sense of what we all did here, and the opportunities that the boards gave us. I think that Lynn and I had counted one day, and I think I worked with approximately about 280 or so individuals on the different school boards over 30 years. I think that's the number we got up to. We started doing that just before COVID. Yeah, I know you do. And then don't let them go, and show somebody where they are. Good. Yeah. And we were so fortunate to have so many great people, and I know there are some board members here tonight, step up in all of the communities. And when we asked, we had a vacancy and nobody was interested, and we would ask people if they were interested. They were always quick to say, yes. Do I have to go to an election? And say, no, you're filling a seat, see if you like it. And then 9 times out of 10, they stayed. They enjoyed it as much as all of us did. So, as I look back now on that, I really, really thank all of those people that gave of themselves to make this a stronger district. This project, and I have no prepared speech, and but this is really heartfelt. This project was incredible. I had said to the board probably a year earlier, listen, we got to do something with what we called library at the time. I said it's just not where it needs to be, and we really need to do something. And God bless the board. Well, go ahead, Halloran. It's not much money, but go ahead, figure out what you need to do, and let's do it. And so we had Familia and Ethel Gades, God bless her, and Bruce, and then John Francis, who carried it on his back, and Jeff Downing from CCI, and all of his folks. And we pulled this room off in 7.5 to 8 weeks. This was completely down to the cement. Yeah. And then every day I would come over and just kind of look in, and I'd say, geez, we got to be ready opening day. Yeah, we know, beat it. And so off I would go. But just an incredible job. And again, thanks to the board for sort of saying, I hope this works. And it did. It did. And they had great confidence in us. And where is John? There he is. John, thank you. This one, yeah. And so, Alan and I just, there's the story and a thank you to all of you for what you did for me personally and what you've done for the school system. And so on that note, Mr. Parsons, and thank you all. Kyla, thank you. And our new principal. And that leads me to my final comment, how fortunate I was to work with Bruce Parsons all these years. We met each other in 1974, and he was this brash water ski counselor, sort of kind of a character. And so, but we met, worked at Camp Cedar, and then about 15 years later or so, got a call that Bruce was interested in being a school principal. He is an outstanding middle school teacher in Revere, and really ran a great drama program. I know people think, they should know. that the arts mean an awful lot to him, and you can tell that. And congratulations on your award. I appreciate it. So the opening was in Wentworth, and so I said, "Yeah, love to have you come up." That it's sort of a hands-on community, and it's different than Revere, and so off we went. And he blew the board away, just blew the board away, and brought so much excitement and energy to Wentworth Elementary that year. And it was our first Washington trip. Yep. Yeah. And so that went very well. And then Superintendent Dulac said, Halloran, you need to go out and tell the Wentworth gang that we're pulling Bruce out of Wentworth Elementary School. We're putting him in the high school as the assistant principal. And I said, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to go with you, but... And we did. And they blamed Paul, which was great. And they were heartbroken when Bruce left. And then the rest is history here. And absolutely the best high school principal in the state of New Hampshire. There's some good ones, but there's no one better than Bruce Parsons. So congratulations on you retiring. Hard to believe you retired. But
I think Kyle's had enough of me.
Still got another month or so.
We got today now. How I know.
So, and on that note, thank you all very, very much. And you should be very proud of your high school. And I know some of you that your children come through, your grandchildren come through, but this is just a terrific place. And Kyla has done a magnificent job through COVID and building and continuing to build on top of everything that was done prior. So on that note, thank you. And hope to, there's hors d'oeuvres.